Welcome back, Cubs. Dire Wolf here. I'm here with Chrome Fodder and the Renting Monkey. How you guys doing?
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up?
I just want to do a quick video because I'm unable to actually do a real response video about this Berkeley riot that was on 15 April. And I just want to talk about some of the things going on there. I did tweet out quite a bit, but have you guys seen some of the videos?
I've seen still shots. I haven't seen the actual videos.
Well,
especially the one going around with that girl who got punched in the face.
Right.
So a lot of rehashes in that one.
Yeah. Currently playing some video in the background from Lauren Southern, who was there on the ground reporting. So the story behind this was there was two events. There was a very well advertised free speech pro-Trump event where they had speakers like Lauren Southern, Ann Coulter, and multiple other conservative side commentators, and they made it very obvious. So there's a lot of time for Antifa and liberal groups to plan a counter protest, and the police were somewhat ready for it. They had a no man's zone in between the two groups, and they had them set up in two different sides of a big grass field. And they did enforce that neutral zone. However, the two groups left the grass areas and went into the streets and started fighting in the street adjacent to the protest and event. All in all, there was 20 arrests, 11 injuries. The arrests included felony assault with a deadly weapon. On the way into the event, the free speech event, the people were removed of any non-lethals and self-defense things like bear mace. But only on the free speech side, whereas the Antifa came with clubs, bear mace, and fireworks, as well as they either found or brought rocks that were end up being thrown and caused some of the injuries.
So a nice peaceful protest.
Very peaceful. Now, I'm not going to say that all the violence was on the Antifa side, because if you watch the video, you'll see there are some provocators on the free speech side. You could try justifying it, but
I can see what you're saying there. However, the Trump support protest was set up long before the other one. The other one was specifically set up to cause this to happen.
Correct.
No, that doesn't give you a right to kick somebody's ass, but I kind of give them a little more leeway because they were setting up a protest well, not even a protest, a rally that wasn't going to cause any problems. It would have just been some people celebrating. And these other assholes came in. I'm sorry, can I cuss on your channel?
You can.
I just did, so I hope so. These other assholes come in specifically to cause problems.
Correct.
That was the whole reason for them being there.
So when you watch this video, particularly the one I'm showing in the background right now, you'll see maybe like 4 Trump supporter side. I hate calling this because they don't really have a group, but so I hate distinguishing a group by their leader, which is not, it's kind of. Anyways, so you'll see like 4 people that are provocating on that side, but then the Antifa, every last one of them there were for a fight, right?
Yeah.
And Fox News is reporting that they had funding for this event because they had a lot of time to plan for it, coming from George Soros, Michael Moore, and Al Sharpton. This was a planned. They're coming there. They're funded to pick fights, and it's very obvious by the fact that they brought weapons that are deadly force weapons.
Well, yeah, even going back to that chick who got punched, the one that there's been, she in her Facebook post, she said she wanted to get at least 100 scalps. Like that, what kind of rhetoric is that?
Right. And I think this comes back to the fact that when this started, when there was small events where this happened, the media, the left-leaning media, and a lot of the louder voices on the left did not condemn violence towards people they disagree with. We have examples of it on YouTube where we have people that are loud voices for the left that are saying it was okay to punch Spencer. It was okay for the riots to try to kill Milo, burn his building down because they didn't agree with him. They were okay with this, and when there's no pushback from their own side, it only escalates. So the decision to go from a war of words to a war with actual violence is being made on the left. And you can't. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that the right's is going to say, yeah, let's get ourselves beat up and not respond? There's going to be a response. They're being forced into it.
Yeah. because their other choice is to get the shit beat out of them.
Right. Now, in no way am I saying that is okay for anyone on the right side to have gone out and try to pick a fight. But when they were responding to a fight that came to them, they are completely legitimate in responding with violence. And my opinion is that this free speech rally was a great thing, and more of these things need to happen. Not the fight, the free speech rally. We need to have more of these events because we cannot let them deter us. But I would say we need to do something different in the future. We need to bring and insist that the non-lethals and self-defense weapons are permitted on the persons who are allowed to legally carry them in those rallies, because we need to be able to have at least an equal response. And they need to be, I'm not saying that they should be, going out and intending to hurt anyone, but they should be able to defend their own safety.
Oh, absolutely. I get why the police made sure everybody was disarmed on the one side, but it needed to happen on both sides, or you have to let it. This is going to come down to something horrific that's going to end up in the history books forever. Yep. That's what it's going to take for this shit to finally stop.
Yeah, and I think the catalyst is that we have an ever more escalating left, and the right is going to have to respond. Yep. They're forcing their hand, and that's what's going to lead to this. I mean, the first event, if you ever have one of these events in, say, I don't know, Texas or Kentucky, a place where you have a lot more people that have firearms and are willing to use them, and laws that are a little looser for self-defense, I can see this going very badly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame the people defending them lives. I wouldn't blame the conservative or the right-leaning or the Trump supporters for protecting themselves. But I know that when they do, and it's what I would do, I know it's going to lead to bigger riots, bigger fights. And if they're willing to burn, if Black Lives Matter and Antifa are willing to burn their own communities, their own homes, their own corner stores to the ground, what do you think is going to happen to everything else? It's going to go out.
The one thing that is good so far is that they are burning their own crap mostly.
It's ironic.
Like with today, I mean, it's going to spread. They're going to be spreading their hatred out. They specifically did this for this reason. They didn't have this rally because they believed in something. It was to be assholes today.
Yes. And a lot of people like to throw around the boogeyman of George Soros, right? Who devotes a lot of money to inciting violence. But
yep.
I would say it's more than just being him. There's an elite group of people who are very wealthy, who have a lot of power, and this is in their best interest for us to be fighting ourselves over stupid shit.
Absolutely.
I'm a huge believer. There you go.
No, I was just gonna say you're absolutely right. I mean, this is the same thing with the whole racism and sexism thing. There's people out there who profit from that shit, and if it were ever solved, they would have to go out and find something else to do with themselves. It's an industry.
If you look at the other two people on the list of funders for this event, Michael Moore, a shill for beliefs he knows are not true, but he knows that by continuing to try to make controversy, he will continue getting money and continuing his relevancy. And then Al Sharpton, who is the biggest race baiter out there. These people have a vested interest in causing conflict. Now, Chrome Fodder, I know this is not your country, but what's your feelings on this event?
Well, like I was saying earlier, we do actually have Antifa here in the UK, which is really disappointing, to be honest. Apparently, we even have BLM, but that's topic for another video.
Yeah.
God, the last thing we need is those people, anyway.
He means it, Black Lives Matter, the group.
But, yeah, it's just so sad to see people like this in the world. Yeah. Why are they even doing this? They're just screwing up their own countries.
Yeah, I have trouble. I probably should have a debate sometime, or at least a question, interview with someone from the anti-government side I'm a supporter of government. I'm obviously I work for it, right? But I support of a small constitutional government that has lots of restraints on it, because I think that there's very few things government should do. But protecting us is one of those most important things, and the police failed here.
Oh yeah,
they failed miserably.
Well, they didn't just, I mean, fail there. They made it worse.
Yeah.
One, the barrier between the two groups was a plastic orange fence.
Yeah,
and
it's construction netting.
Yeah, and if you watch the Berkeley riots from when Milo was there, you should have known that wasn't going to hold up at all.
Yeah.
They I don't know what more they could have done. I know what they shouldn't have done. They shouldn't have disarmed people. Give them a fighting chance if you're going to invite that shit.
Yeah, it is possible they could have locked off the entire courtyard. It seems from the cam footage from the sky that this place could have been completely locked off to Antifa. Their protest could have been kept out of that area. They could still have their lawful protest, but trying to defend a line in the middle of a big open area was senseless. They're just going to go around it. That's what happened. So they needed to create a defensible position so that the police could defend, not depending on the people to do it. And then they should have enforced it with more people, more cops. There was very few there. If you look at the ratio of cops to people, there was a really sad amount of police there.
I think what didn't really help is that the police that were there decided to just vanish the moment anything actually started going wrong.
It seemed like that from some of the camera views. With some of the camera views I saw, it looked like they were just in the very wrong place. Because the protests moved. And I saw towards the end of this video that some people were trying to get the cops to come over to where the fights were. But yeah, they were out of position because they didn't want to deviate from their battle plan of we're going to enforce this line that is completely ineffective. What do you guys think of Lauren Southern's get up with the helmet and the goggles and the respirator?
Didn't help. Apparently, she's still got pepper sprayed in the eyes.
Right. So yeah.
Next time she might want to wear a tank.
You just wear it. She had like 4 security guards with her too, right? That were acting as barriers. It was really hard to hear her reporting through that construction style mask that does not stop the pepper spray. So it was kind of pointless.
I don't mean to ruin the pacing of the stream, but all I've seen for the last like 10 minutes on it is my face.
Screen sharing. Do you guys not see the?
I just have a blank screen.
How about now?
No, still showing. Oh, now I see it.
I guess when I go full screen, it does not show it. Well done.
Oh, weird.
So you guys have to look at the rest of my my YouTube, I guess. Anyways, so yeah, this is gonna keep happening. I think it was good that they picked Berkeley because this is where these voices are not being heard. And really, on a college campus, you need to have diversity of thought, and they've been keeping it out. I have a lot of Cubs that have said that they used to be these social justice warriors. They used to believe the same things that this violent crowd believed, but they were not hearing any evidence or any arguments to the contrary. They're all college-age students, you know. Do you ever get comments like that, Monkey? I know you got more subscribers than me.
I actually do, and a lot of my YouTube friends are the same way. That girl, SDA, Irate Bear, Miss Misa, all of them used to be social justice warriors, and with the exception of Irate Bear, they were all younger, and it was the way that they were just brought up through school because that's what's taught to them. And this is one of the things I get into arguments with people about on how we present our side of the argument. We're supposed to be all civil and nice, and I have never met anyone who say, change their mind from watching Tildeer, who does very, mostly kind content. He's not openly mean. Everybody that I hear from is, I watch Sargon, I watch Bearing. It's people who had to almost be shaken out of this crap.
Yeah, because there's some way a cult works is for the more effective the cult is the more parts of your life it gets attached to, the more parts of your identity that you start associating to this belief system. And the way this social justice mentality is, you build up so much of your personal view of yourself in this belief system, and stopping believing this thing actually is a painful event for somebody. They have to give up a lot of what they've thought they've known about the world.
Well, yeah, and part of that is because any challenging of their belief, no matter how nice it is seen as an insult.
Yes. An attack, racism.
Yeah, you don't question what I think, and no matter how nice you are, they get offended.
Yes.
So I'm not like, I try not to be like too mean about things, but I think the best way to get through to those kind of people is to just be honest, whether you're brutally honest or just honest. I don't think it makes too much of a difference, but yeah, I've just seen way too many people. You got to be nice. No, nice doesn't work, because to them, just because you're disagreeing is an insult. Yes.
And I try to walk the line where I am more boring and I like research, right? But if you've seen my content, I'm still doing responses. I try to mesh the two together because I want someone to hear how dumb the other argument is, but also to have the facts to back up what the opinion is,
Yeah.
So it's a line I got to walk. And then I used to be my first videos. You've been subscribed to me since you're my fifth subscriber, I think. I was more passionate, more insulting. I did try to tone it down a little bit when I started realizing I had a bunch of cubs that were like age 14. I'm like, holy cow. I didn't know people like that watched these kind of videos. So I tried to be a little more civil.
I see. For me, I go the opposite way, knowing kids are. Now I try to be less vulgar.
That's what I meant.
But, well, yeah, but no less civil, because again, got to look at the generation we're talking about. I mean, in my day, the kind of stuff that I've heard on YouTube would have been so risky, so risque.
Right.
But today it's just like, whatever. You can watch worse than that on network television.
True.
I see like 6 and 7 year olds come into where I work, and well, they've got more of a mouth on them than I have.
Oh my God, yes. Kids today, if I talk like that and my mother heard me, she would have just killed me and started over.
Yeah, probably.
I think I would have had the same issue with my dad.
If I were to say some of those things, even if my parents knew the way I'm speaking now, if I was back when I was a kid, they'd look like I'd hit them in the face. They'd be so disappointed. Oh, I can't believe you said that.
Oh yeah. Well, I used to work at Walmart, and there was this one time there was this kid in there who was just being horrible, just horrible. And his mom told him to stop, and he looked at her and said, "Shut up, bitch." And I'm like, she's going to kill him. And no, she just turned around and walked away. I'm like, yeah, times have changed.
There's been a lot of social engineering towards trying to change how people punish their kids. And by that, I mean not punishing them.
Right? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And
it might hurt their feelings.
So, yeah.
No, I'm serious. It's bad for their self-esteem. That's what people are being told now.
Fuck that. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know what's bad against my self-esteem? Being smacked across the ass with a lump of wood.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to create barriers and rules and enforce them. Otherwise, you're going to end up with the kind of kids we're looking at on the stream right now.
But you also have to realize there's some parents who think that would be a great thing. If only their kid was like that.
If they were a menace to society, it's a good thing. I know you're right, but it's just mind-boggling.
That's the world we're in.
This is Okay, imagine we were in another that required some sort of unity. This would be a destructive force in our society. We would be self-destructive. We would not be as effective. And that's a war, but I mean, just in general as a culture, when you have the populace so divided, so at its, each other's throats, you're never going to have the same level of production and freaking synergy. This is bad for society. We're going to be less productive as a society if we are divided.
Absolutely.
Just economically, and social progress wise. I'm not talking about social progress like trying to find social justice, but how a society progresses. It's going to be hindered. It's going to be retarded by this kind of division.
Well, the whole social justice movement is setting back civilization. You're right about this, but if you also look at how they're trying to change language, they're changing language to the point where it literally means nothing. Language is how we advance.
So I had sorry, go.
No, go ahead. I do have to mute myself for 1 second here.
We did the video on Heart's Progress, and the leader of the movement of Heart's Progress called me a bigot. I'm like, you know what? All right, I'm a bigot. I'm bigoted against people who want to sexually abuse kids. Now what? Where does the conversation go? I'm okay with that. Your word no longer affects me. It's meaningless in our society.
Yeah,
it's like calling me racist. Everyone will call me racist from the social justice crowd, no matter what I say, because I disagree with them. So the word means nothing to me. All right, I'm racist now. Now what?
I would quite proudly wear a shirt that says "I hate pedophiles." I'm not ashamed of that at all.
I wear a badge on my uniform, on my flak vest, that says infidel, because I fucking am. I'm proud of it.
I saw someone walking around town with that, and I just had to ask them where to get one.
Yeah, their words they use as weapons have been so misused, just twisted. Like if you take the Milo video, twisting the word, what the meaning of racist so much that basically everyone is racist unless you're not white.
Yeah, only white people, because we suck. Fucking white people.
I know we're so terrible. Because we have opinions that run counter to social justice. It's what causes it, and all this years of oppression that I was not involved in. That's my fault.
Well, one of the funniest things to me is when I hear about how I've benefited from slavery, and anybody who says that to me in America, you did too. No matter what color your skin is, you're benefiting the same way I am.
Yep.
That's what the nation was built on. That's not my fault or even your fault, but don't say stupid stuff, because I'll point that out.
And if really what comes down to it was members of society, the elites, the very wealthy, and mostly on the Democrat and southern side that were benefiting from slavery, because not everyone owned slaves. A lot of white people, the vast majority, did not own a slave ever in their lineage.
Yeah, even the one they might have wanted to, but most white people were poor, as dirt poor, and you had to be rich to have slaves.
Yeah. There were some white people who did the same jobs as slaves, but they were poor. So,
that was the case of the Irish as well, who were actually often sacrificed in place of the slaves because they were seen as worse.
Right, yeah.
Seen as less important.
So, and then you throw in the fact that, I don't know how we got into slavery, but whatever. The fact that black slave traders were the ones who took people from Africa and were selling them to the people in America. It was black people oppressing black people to be oppressed by a minority of white people in America. You guys should be more angry at the people who were slave traders in Africa.
Or how about this? How about let it go because it actually hasn't affected you at all?
True.
The slave
anyone involved in the slave trade has been dead for what, over 100 years nearly, or something crazy.
Exactly.
Unless you're Tanya Mojo or however the hell you say her name, and she says there's still people alive who were slaves, which they're very, very, very old.
They could be like the oldest people in the world.
Yes, they would be.
Yeah.
Call the world record.
But yeah.
It's just virtue signaling crap. That doesn't mean anything. It's a way to whine and have their victim status. And that's another thing that holds society back. Stop being a damn victim about everything.
I'm totally fine with condemning an actual racist who is actually causing harm, right?
Yes.
But the vast majority of people being accused of this racism, of that, and then now it's watered down so that the actual racists are being lost in the mix. There are some people who are legitimately need the government to step in and protect their freedoms, and we have laws to help them with that. But the vast majority of the problems they complain about are first world problems that amount to nothing. It really hurts me that I see so much pain and suffering in my job, so much stuff that average people will not see. And that's real problems that really require government intervention. But they're complaining about shit in comparison. And it is, you guys have messed up priorities. I don't support drafting, starting a draft or forcing anyone to the military, but God, it would be helpful if those people that are currently out in the streets got to go overseas and see some people with real problems.
Yeah.
Lotus wants you to look at your DMs, and everyone is telling you to stop streaming my face.
Yeah, we can see your screen share, but nobody else seems to be able to.
Oh, well, shit.
That's what I was actually trying to tell you earlier.
How about that?
Is that better, guys?
Good enough.
But anyway, my idea to help these people out is to take all of these kids, take away all of their possessions except for the clothes on their back, and drop them in Somalia for about 2 months. If they make it, we'll bring them back, and they will be different people.
Yes. Yes, they would. They've never actually had to suffer through anything real. So they I understand they want to have a life purpose. It's something ingrained in all of us. And they want to have a reason to be here, a goal to fight for, right? It's just part of our psyche. And that's what drives good men to die in war for a nation. It's what drives people to do charity for religion or some sort of group where they devote their life to doing good deeds. They have a purpose, but these people have picked a purpose. They've been educated to believe in a ideology that leads them to devote their lives to something not only meaningless, but in the end, so harmful to society.
Me and Scribe have talked about this a few times. Part of this is the death of religion. Whether you believe in God or whatever, humans seem to need something to really deeply believe in. And for these kids, and not just the kids, the older adults who push this shit on them, social justice has really become that. It fills the void that religion used to. They become so ingrained in it. Anita Sarkeesian's everything is sexist, racist, that is a religious type belief. To believe everything you see is one way is not rational at all.
I want to have
getting a little upset.
I want to have a further debate with somebody. I'm having trouble finding someone that would fit this. I contacted you actually about it, I believe, about the purpose of religion, whether it is inherently a good thing in our culture, and I think it is. So I need to find someone who disagrees, but is also going to be civil enough to have a debate with, because I see religion as being a positive thing in general. There are religions that are negative and have a huge negative effect. Islam being a great example. I see very few interpretations of Islam that don't still have teachings that are inherently negative for society. But there are plenty of religions, even small ones that most people don't equate much power to. But it's basically a motive for people to do good things. For you know, the Little Sisters of the Poor, you know, for freaking churches that devote hundreds of thousands of dollars to building homes in Indonesia for people that were lost their homes in a Muslim uprising. You know, this is good things where people donate their what instead of giving money to the government for them to waste on trying to do charity, give it to people who will actually use it all for charity. You know, because their belief system. That's a thing. If you're trying to better your life and help other people because of this ideology you have.
Well, I can tell you what they would say, because I generally agree with you. I'm not religious myself, and I do definitely see times when religion has been used to further hatred or evil. But one, humans seem to need something like that. And it's been cataloged by people much smarter than me.
Yep.
But even more than that, there's so much good that can be done from it. But what the other side would tell you is you don't need the religion to do it. The problem is we actually seem to. It seems to be something we do need. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to believe in a God, but there has to be some driving force that makes us want to do it. And the most effective thing seems to be religion. And again, that also opens it up to be horrifically misused. But misusing, it's the same as a gun. A gun is made to protect you, to hunt. Somebody killing their wife out of anger with it doesn't make the gun bad.
The gun is a tool. You are the
and same with religion. Religion is a tool. Whether you believe in God, then it's.
But
what's that? I'm sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. Helping Hand is waiting for an invite.
He was sent it in DM, but I'll check again.
Yeah, he says it just takes him to the Play Store. So.
What? Okay, whatever.
Oh, he needs to update his. Yeah, that's happened to me before. Is he using
phone? Right.
He's on his tablet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he'll need to get the app.
You have to update the Hangout app or get it. My phone came with it. Anyways, so
But as I was saying,
yeah.
Real quick, I wanted to finish that thought. Religion is a tool, whether you believe it's a tool that God is using to control the masses, or whether you believe it's man-made and the church is using it to control the masses. It's still just a tool.
Right.
The same as anything else. So it can be good or bad depending on whose hands it's in.
Yeah. I'm not an atheist. And my personal beliefs, for me, it's not important. That kind of belief system should not be, for me, should not be used to validate or as any sort of evidence for any argument I ever make. Because using an argument that's based on evidence from a religion will only be accepted by people who believe that religion, right? So I think religion is positive, but I wouldn't use it as evidence for your arguments, at least not me. So I would use it as an influence in your life to do positive things to improve your life. I wouldn't use it to try to prove, scientific points or anything like that. Sure. So is Hands getting on right now or what?
Says, I can't follow that link. You need to invite me in Hangouts. The link just takes me to the Play Store, and I already have the Hangouts app.
All right. So I don't know how to do it other than giving him the link. So how do I do it? I guess I send his name. Yeah, let's try that.
Gemini, he already unclicked it. Chances are it's just the streaming software's died.
Okay.
It's still showing my face.
Well, I'm sorry. I took the I took the screen share off. I don't know what to do now. What the hell?
No, what I mean is it's been frozen on a single frame. It doesn't even have the circle expanding out from the middle.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know what's going on.
Mine got stuck like that the other day. The only thing I could do is randomly I'd switch between people. It never did fix. It went like that for like an hour and a half.
Well,
Trust Google.
I need to find his name to type it in. So 1 second. Because apparently a helping hand is not his name on a. email.
Oops.
Shio Monkey, you say something?
No.
Could you say something?
I'm trying to think of what to even say here. I do a much better job as a host than I do as a guest, because as a guest, I try not to take over other people's streams. The only time I'm real comfortable doing that is if like we're streaming on SDA's channel, because it's still just the three of us, and like she's being quiet. I'll just do it. Damn it. And I'm not real up on most of my news because I've been dealing with this angry MGTOW crap for the last 2 days. What's going on with that? Some dumb American agreed to do a stream with him, and he was a complete jerk. So about halfway through, Jeff Holiday sent SDA a message that send me the link, which she did, and he jumped in and just made angry MGTOW look like a complete freak. And there were a couple of others of us jumped in briefly, but that shut down. And the next morning we wake up and he has told Adindro, I don't know if you know him, but he's a friend of all of us. Him and Angry MGTOW had DM'd together many times, and he DM'd Ed telling him that he was going to dox all of us and have his fans hack our accounts and false flag our channels. And it just, everything blew up from there. And he's had 3 videos since, the latest one being him taking his channel down. But I mean, like, it's just been nuts. He's going to war, and I would scream like he did, but I don't want to hurt anybody's ears. It was really funny to watch, but you can't see it anymore because he took it down.
Great.
But yeah, he's just lost his mind.
Helping hand made it.
Camera.
Hold on, guys.
There we go.
Yeah. All right, can you hear me?
Yep. Throw some tape over that camera.
Yeah. Fucking, I haven't had this tablet very long. I'm still trying to get used to it, but can you guys hear me fine now?
Yep.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah, I swear to God, I have no idea what this bullshit is. Hold on a second. Now I have the video running in another tab.
I found the best way to cover your camera. You just don't have one.
It's kind of funny. When I invited you guys, I think all 3 of you said something to the effect of, I have no idea what happened. Like, yes, I invited the right 3 people.
Yeah. Yeah, what the hell, man? Like, seriously, I had no idea that this Antifa bullshit was going on until you told me about it last night. And now that I look at it, it's a complete clusterfuck. My God. How much shit's going to happen in Berkeley before we, I don't know, fucking... I don't know. Something definitely needs to be done, though, man, because this shit can't keep happening. It
On
really
the bright side, if Berkeley did burn down, would it be that bad?
Here's what I think. I think we just make Berkeley Riot Town, and every time we're going to have one, we just send them all there.
Right? Just make Berkeley one gigantic coliseum.
It'd be like Hunger Games. We just have all of our fights in one place instead of having them around the country.
It's
like one of those FPSs, but
winding down to
Berkeley
that,
would be the only map you could actually use.
All right.
We could actually start randomly picking citizens who from each of the cities in America, and just start sending them to a battle royale.
Honestly, I expected it to be a lot worse than it really was. You know, when I followed all your links, it seemed to me that it was just a bunch of like a bunch of little like piddling skirmishes. Like somebody would throw a punch and then run away like a little bitch, and then it would turn into a shouting match, and you know that would go on for another few minutes until somebody else threw a punch. It never actually became an actual, you know, like battle. So I guess I can be grateful for that. Yeah.
The real harm was that in those little clashes, there was large rocks being thrown, fireworks that were being thrown, and people were being beat with sticks and bats. That was what caused all these injuries. And a few times I saw someone dragged into the crowd and then just curb stomped a few times, which is...
Yeah, I saw them throwing like M80s and shit into the crowd. I saw that.
Yeah. So
these fucking lunatics, man. I mean, they're not going to be happy until somebody actually starts hunting them down and beating the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that we should do that, but we should definitely be able to defend ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always been a big proponent of you fight words with words and you fight violence with violence. But when it comes to violence, I am a huge proponent of 10 times what violence came towards at you. You need to be overwhelming force, because if you don't, the fight keeps going.
Right.
Yeah,
Don't just win that fight, win every fight after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if somebody hits you and you don't hit them back hard enough to where they never want to hit you again, they're going to hit you again.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
This is one reason
why
I'm actually trying to get myself a knuckle duster.
Yeah.
You know about guns in the UK? It's bullshit.
A lot of the goals of military campaigns is not to just defeat the enemy's military, but demoralize it. Because if you don't do that, it will just rebuild and come right back at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, hell, even if you do that, it can happen. I mean, that's World War II. In World War I, we just so demoralized them. The thing is, you can't keep them down. You eventually have to let them build a society again. But you're right. You have to make it so they do not want to fight.
Yeah. And then we let Germany build back up after World War II, and look what they're doing to themselves now. Self-destructive, really.
Yeah. Well, it's not self-destructive. They're letting the Islamic people do it.
Yeah. I used to live in Germany. I don't know if you guys know that, but I actually love the country and the way the people used to be a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I would never move back, and I am so disappointed with the people and what they've done to their country.
For everybody,
I have family living in Germany, so it is of concern to me what's happening over there. I swear.
Tell them to leave. Seriously, it's not safe.
No, it's not. They really they seriously do need to leave. They really do.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to drop out because I do have a stream here in 10 minutes, and I got to get that all set up.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you very much
for coming with you, and we'll have to do this sometime when I don't have something else set up, so we can just keep chatting.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. I've been meaning to talk to you anyway at some point or another. You know, if for nothing else, just to discuss how my channel's going. You know, any advice that you might have or anything. I've been following your channel for a while, man. I've been a big fan. So sorry it took me so damn long to get into the damn hangout.
But yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, one of these days we'll have to chat, man.
Yeah, my DMs are open. Anytime you guys want to chat, say hi.
Right on. Appreciate it.
Talk to you guys later.
Yep.
Later. Does any of you guys have the chat open?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. I'm gonna try opening mine, but is there any questions? Let's open it up to some of the questions from anyone who's watching. I see 21 people. Wow, 20. So what do you guys think about this? Any opinions?
I mean, honestly, the fact that we're even having to discuss it in terms of like war tactics, in terms of like demoralization, and you know, if you're going to hit them hard, if you're going to hit them at all, make sure to hit them hard enough that they won't want to hit you again. The only reason it's even coming to this is because of the fact that the federal government refuses to acknowledge these people for the terrorists that they fucking are. I mean, really, what exactly do we have to wait for them to do before they finally make their way onto that list and we stop tolerating this bullshit from them? That's
Yeah, well, how long did it take before people started saying BLM was a terrorist organization?
True,
yeah.
True. If we were talking about Obama, I'd say the answer is never. They benefit too much from it.
Right.
Now we're with Trump. I don't know. Politically, it is not advantageous for him right now, but he seems like the kind of attitude of someone who would do something.
Right. I don't know. I hate the fact that it's boiling down to base tribalism and that logic and the meaning of words. I mean, the fact that they even call themselves Antifa, meaning anti-fascist, and yet their every tactic is about as fascist as you could possibly get. It just goes to show that words don't actually have any fucking meaning to these people. It's all about feelings to them. That's why there's really no negotiating with them.
Yeah.
Let's face it, the only thing they know how to do is scream at people, tell them their opinion doesn't matter.
We got a question from turning fruits into vegetables. That sounds impractical. Into asking about the Moab in Syria. So, well, it was a airburst explosive, the biggest conventional weapon the U.S. has.
Yeah.
Did I do a video on? No, I didn't do it. I was planning on doing a video on this. So basically, they had some tunnels that have been used to get from Pakistan to Afghanistan. Yes, originally created by CIA, but people keep throwing that at Trump like, this is your fault that many years ago the CIA did this. Okay. Why didn't Obama do something about it? Huh? If this is such a big issue, but look who solved the problem. Okay, so the explosion was 10 football fields in width within the kill radius. The shockwave was felt quite a bit further. It was dropped from a C-130, which is a cargo aircraft, because it was too big for our biggest bomber, the B-52.
Yeah.
It was a GPS-guided munition, and it exploded above the ground, creating a shockwave that collapsed all of the network of tunnels. I don't know what else you want to know about it, but that's what it was.
Yeah, if I'm at all honest, I haven't really been all that up to date on it. I mean, I heard about it happening, but I never really looked into the details or anything. And before I knew it, we were already on to the next thing.
Yes.
But I can tell you this, man, any decision Trump makes from here on out is going to be presented by the media and everybody associated with it as if it's the most monstrous thing in the world, as if it had no precedent, or, you know, there was no strategy behind it or no reasoning behind it. Anytime anything like this happens, you're going to have to dig deep to find the actual truth. And it's a matter of whether or not you're going to be able to do it fast enough before, you know, you have to worry about the next thing that happens. So, yeah,
I was having a breakfast when I was watching the news right after the strike, and I already knew about it. But the newscaster said, oh, you know, people are like praising Trump for dropping this big bomb in Afghanistan. But, you know, Obama was dropping hundreds and hundreds of bombs from drones. So it's not a new thing. I'm like, those are Hellfires. They're fucking rockets. They're tiny. They are very precision munitions. They are not gigantic bombs. This is the difference there in measure. But also the biggest thing is the reason why that bomb was used. And they keep saying, oh, it didn't require Trump's specific approval to use that bomb. Yeah, sure. He didn't sign a fucking piece of paper saying, yes, we'll drop this bomb in this location. It's not like the Bin Laden raid. But the reason why they felt the generals felt that they could use this bomb is because they now felt empowered that we're now allowed to win the war. Whereas for the longest time, our hands have been tied. Our people have been dying for jack shit. We're not allowed to win with Obama as president. It was just there for us to get shot at. Completely pointless combat, and you know it's demoralizing. And the reason why our suicides are going through the roof, we have less people doing more work and having no positive outcome foreseen in the future. No end game there was no victory. They weren't projecting victory. We're just there to fucking die. Right. So you think it's not surprising that suicides are so high.
Yeah, for sure.
And I see it in myself. I see it in my men. The stress it causes is ridiculous.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can even see it, dude. I have a few friends that have been, you know, in the military and in and out of the military. One of which is in the National Guard right now, and I have another friend that's in the Marines, and I can fucking see it on their faces every time some shit like this happens. You know, shit rolls downhill, and they're going to be the ones that basically face the brunt of all the politics and everything that's associated with it. So,
yeah. Any other questions, guys? Hi, Amanda. How you doing? You guys all know Amanda Woodchild, right?
Oh, yes. Pretty sure she was in both of the live streams that I've been in up till now. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm honestly surprised she's not taking part in this.
Yeah, and there's Gemini, who I totally snubbed by not putting his contact in the description of our collab we just did.
Oh, is that why he's dusting the chat in salt right now?
Yeah, I put him in. They just took
Gemini, I put you in the thumbnail for my mirror of the video, man. So I hope that makes up for it.
Sorry, Gemini. And Thoggy as well.
Yeah.
Gemini, autism might not be a choice, but weaponizing it definitely is.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, so there was a funny post about the Moab. Someone showed a figure of the net explosive weight and the length of the missiles at side by side. So there was a person 6 feet tall, no explosive weight was mentioned, which is a flaw. And then they had a 10-foot nuclear bomb with 11 kiloton yield of net explosive weight. And then there was the Moab, which is 30 feet with a 10 tons, not kiloton, ton, so smaller net explosive weight. And my question was, why didn't you put the net explosive weight of a person? Why would you leave that out? Because if you drop a person from the same height as that Moab, it will have a small explosion. There is a force involved. So
yeah, that's physics, man.
So we went and did the math. Apparently, somewhere around 40,000 people would have to be dropped to get the same explosive yield as a Moab.
Well, that's better than 7 billion people jumping up and down and being about 500 tons of TNT. Yeah. So,
and I'm thinking that you could actually reduce the need for that many people by just strapping some bomb vests to them, and then think about how much money we'd save by just dropping terrorists that we've captured with bomb vests over terrorist-held locations. We'd save so much money.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
I'm just kidding, of course. But if we ran out of terrorists, we could just start dropping very large pigs.
Or, some
drop Antifa.
Some body positivity activists.
One or two. Just drop a couple of them. That's fine. We don't need that many of them.
I mean, I've already heard about weapons that drop, or that look into dropping gigantic steel rods like the size of a telephone pole. I figure, you could either do that or you could just drop, what's her name, Kelly Drinkwater.
Yeah, you could do that. A lot of the anti-missile missiles are actually only kinetic. They don't necessarily have explosive in them.
Really?
Because you're just shooting a missile out of the sky. You're not trying to do massive damage. So if you have so we have several different anti-missile systems set up around our allies and our own locations. We have also mobile on the carrier group. So when they move that carrier group next to Korea, they're also moving a bubble of protection around Korea. Now, so it wouldn't protect all of South Korea because of the time it would take to actually to get one missile from North Korea to South Korea. There'd be no response time. But they would protect Japan and other places like that. I think it's Aegis is the system, and it's basically just a GPS satellite. And there's two levels of defense, two different ships that both launch missiles. One's short range, one's long range. One shoots it as it's taken off, and one shoots it as it's mid-flight. So we can move a anti-ballistic missile defense grid around the world with each of our carrier groups. So also, anytime the news says that they just moved a carrier group into position, it makes me laugh because I knew it was going there like a month ahead of time because it takes a while to get there. they were planning this a long time ahead, but the news says, "Oh, they just moved it there."
Yeah. Oh my god.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is right now. I mean, I'm no political scientist or anything like that, but all I can say is the best thing Trump could possibly do for as far as his administration is concerned right now would be to have complete transparency about absolutely everything that he does. And honestly, he should spend as much time on camera as possible, because the more chances he gives people to basically misconstrue his actions or, misinterpret anything that he's trying to do, the more we're going to end up spiraling towards fucking civil war, and the more bullshit we're going to see like we saw in Berkeley yesterday. Literally everything he does either be prefaced or punctuated with, "This is why I'm doing this."
Is Direwolf an actual wolf? And then asked about the stream. I'm confused.
It was once upon a time.
The stream issues.
What issues are we having with the stream right now?
It's still showing my face.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you know what? Your art's pretty good. You're just showing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, man. I mean, I'm watching the stream as we're doing it on the tablet, and I have my laptop open, and I'm actually watching the chat from that. But yeah, that's what's happening this entire time. All Chrome's thing.
It's fine. So a lot of you guys don't know that Chrome Fodder here is a YouTuber that's relatively new, and he's also my very first patron from Patreon.
Right on, man. Nice.
So I think the last 4 videos you've been featured at the end.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, welcome aboard, man.
I was going to say that's probably why I've nearly actually quadrupled my subscriber count.
No, it's a shitstorm, but welcome aboard, man. I said it when I started my channel. We need as many people, donating our voices to this as we possibly can. So welcome aboard.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate your content as well as donations. Your content's really good. You guys should check them out.
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't really had the chance to comb through just yet, but I've seen, I've basically watched portions of some of your videos before I came into the stream, just to see what kind of a person you were. And yeah, I have to appreciate your stuff, man. I mean, I just got a comment on the mirror of the anti-pedophilia video that we did. Some guy just commented talking about, how many of these guys are furries? Unsubscribe. I'm like, okay. First of all, are you new? Like, our side of the argument has been using animal avatars forever. So some of them may be, some of them may not. I don't care enough to ask. But if that's all it really takes for you to unsubscribe, then bye.
Yeah, you're not really involved in the argument then if you're just
exactly. I stopped caring about the furry thing quite some time ago. Like that's much lower on my priorities list, to the point where it's not even visible anymore. After there's no longer groups trying to push legalization of pedophilia through fucking Congress, then I'll worry about the furries, okay?
If you look at the
none of us are Fury.
Right.
Good movie though. Good movie. So I did a video on furries, but more it was about what are they called? Otherkin.
Yeah.
I see furries as being no more weird than like LARPing. It may not be my cup of tea, but it doesn't hurt anybody, right?
Exactly.
It's just people have their own interests, their own escape from reality. I think it's some people they do video games and they get away from the real world in video games, or they watch TV shows religiously to get away from the real world. And some people they dress up in costumes and play games with each other.
Right.
So
yeah.
Not a big deal.
Technically, I'm dressing up in costume, but that's at the end of the month for charity.
Yeah.
It's not a regular thing.
If as a sexual fetish, the whole furry thing freaks you out, then you are not quite jaded enough yet to really belong in this conversation. But look, man, the internet is a big dark place. So like if you search deliberately for too long about the different kinds of fetishes that are out there, suddenly furries aren't going to concern you very much.
Yeah. With what I've seen, furry seems normal now.
Right. Yeah, dude, if there's one thing I've learned ever since like graduating high school, it's to never say, well, it can't possibly get any worse than this, because yes, it fucking can.
Far worse, most likely.
I graduated literally like maybe a year or two before the emo thing started happening really hard. And at first, that's when I first said, I'm like, well, at least, it can't get worse than this. I graduated. But then along came teen vampires and teen werewolves and this gigantic storm of
hey, 1 second.
Tumblr bullshit we've been dealing with.
Hey, what's it mean when I see a green mark on my screen? It says Gemini, $5. This is hopes you stop presenting the gerbil.
Yeah, apparently I'm a gerbil.
Wait, did you send money?
Shouldn't he enjoy
$5?
I didn't know you could do that. What?
Yeah, that's the super chat thing. You see the dollar at the bottom of the chat?
Yeah, I saw super chat mentioned. I didn't even know what it was, so that's what.
Hey, Gemini, you want inside the chat? You want to come on the screen?
He wants to eat the gerbil. That's what he wants to do. I mean, he's an owl.
I already told him I can hold my breath for a long time.
There's a few things you can do with gerbils.
Not a part of me that does it. Well, a fodder is a part ferret, part otter, and the joke is how drunk were my parents.
I gotta send the link to Gemini just in case he wants to come on.
Who designed your avatar, by the way, Chrome? It's pretty solid work.
Yeah.
The original design that I used in my first videos was by someone on For Affinity. A friend of mine bought the artwork but never used the character, so I kind of rehomed it.
Nice.
And then in the end, as a sort of like month late birthday present, the same friend basically said, "Oh, you know, I'll commission some new artwork for you because I know you don't like the cutesy style of the character."
Yeah.
So I said, "Okay, we'll go with this guy," and it ended up being
He
Freddie,
got a great deal
who did,
too.
Bearing's artwork.
Oh yeah.
So,
It reminds me.
Tell him the great deal.
Yeah.
sorry, my pop filter fell off.
Hey, Chrome, tell him how much it cost too, because it was an amazing deal.
It was the original character and 9 different expressions, and that cost $46.
Nice.
Holy shit.
Not bad.
And
Yeah.
I even managed to use GIMP, which was the free art program, to mix a couple of them together and get up to 15. So.
Oh man, if he did that in GIMP, he has my respect because
No,
I'm a digital
I
artist too, and I gotta tell you, GIMP is like
don't know
pulling
what he
teeth.
used.
Ugh. Yeah, GIMP is capable of doing the job. It's just a pain in the ass to work with.
I think most people use like Paint Tool Sci.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing about most recently. So yeah.
But I do know some mix of Photoshop and something else I forget the name of.
I had to pay a lot for my avatar. I was willing to, but shoot, for 14 images, sorry, 17 because my has 3 images as well. So I have 14 versions of my avatar and 3 of my wife, and it cost me $300.
Yeah, well, depending on which artist you go with, man, honestly, that's not too bad of a deal either. I know some people that would have charged you double that.
Yeah.
You got away relatively clean.
Yeah, I'm not regretting it. I love the new avatar. I think everyone else has been loving it too.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The one they did for your wife is actually pretty damn good as well. Like I wasn't really sure how you would go about keeping, the majority of the wolf visage while, making it look a lot more feminine to the point where you could distinguish it as 2 separate characters. But they did a damn good job. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
It's not a waste of $5. It supports Wolf.
Yep, I'm due to start upgrading my image as soon as I possibly can as well. The whole reason I got this specific tablet is because it's really good for digital painting, which is something I've been meaning to get back into. But the more I'm getting into it now, I'm starting to realize exactly how rusty I am and how many things I'm having to reteach myself. So once I, work out all of the kinks, I intend to basically start redesigning my own avatar and, redesigning my interface and everything again.
What did Lotus say? She sent $5 as well. By the way, thank you very much, Lotus.
They just sent $5. They didn't say anything.
What? You wasted the highlighted comment?
So the exact quote is, "I wanted to fart with it."
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Fair enough. Oh, there he is.
Yo, what's up, man?
He's come to claim you, girl. Be careful.
I'm still on the screen, by the way.
Oh, so it looks normal in here.
Yeah, it looks normal here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks normal here. I have no idea what the hell is going on.
That's what I say. I think it's just the live stream decided to fart. So
that was legitimately bothering me, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was plucking my feathers.
Because it's not you on there.
First world problems, man. First world problems.
What's up,
Oh my
Wolf?
God, this live stream is just not functioning the way it should be.
Hey man, compared to the way I've been dealing with live streams before, man, I will take this over that. Past couple live streams I tried to do, I kept getting, the connection kept dropping. I kept getting kicked off and shit. Yeah, this is definitely an upgrade. I will accept this slight inconvenience.
So what do you guys think about the Chechen concentration camp for homosexuals?
I can't say I've heard much about it. You're going to have to update me.
Oh, God. So basically, it was in the news last week, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't need to read far past the headline to say, yep, that seems legit and fucked up. So it's a mostly Muslim country, and I believe it was Fox News reporting on it because vested interest in pointing out that, Muslims are not pro-gay. But so I don't know how skewed the article was, but I also didn't read it because I didn't need to look into it too much further. But if you guys would like, I'll do a video on it, but I'll actually have to research it first. I want to talk about something I'm not familiar with. But what I do know is in Chechnya, they have set up camps. They call it concentration camps. That could be an overreaction, but basically they are oppressing homosexuals, putting them separate from society. And that's obviously a bad thing, obviously twisted. And that's a product of Islam. What can I say?
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, depending on how much they were, inflating the story or how much they were actually exaggerating just to, try to get face time. Honestly, it's not a huge stretch. I mean, how long ago was it that we saw them throwing gays off of rooftops?
Yeah. I did a video about it, actually, responding to Riley Dennis. So, I mean, it's something that could happen and has happened. And it sounds believable, but I don't want to say for sure how bad these camps are, if they really are camps or if there's some other excuse, but that's what the story is. And I believe it. That's very possible.
And yet we're still going to get no shortage of, social justice simpletons over here that seem to think that the rights of the LGBTQ movement and Islam run hand in hand.
They absolutely do not.
No, they do not. They never did. It's retarded that anybody would even say it. Especially the more we're seeing crap like this.
Is his mic bad for anyone else?
Yes, terrible.
Okay,
hey,
I'm not going to tell him.
Tablet.
Yeah, I can't use the mic that I use for my channel with this because there's really no way to actually connect it. It's just a USB mic. So I'm using my Bluetooth headset. Yeah, I know it's kind of shit, but I'm looking for better options. Let's put it that way.
Do you need a helping hand?
But
yeah, kill me.
Yeah, but
you can actually get a USB to micro USB connector, but I think you might need third-party software to actually run the microphone.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've been looking into it. I have a few audiophile friends who should be able to help me out with it. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh wow! It says in the camp 3 dead, 100 imprisoned. That's pretty fucked up. Yeah. They called Mike Pence to perform electric shock. I would like to look that up first.
Yeah.
Sounds like a troll. I almost started pulling a freaking Lacey Green.
No, I think Lotus just dropped.
Yeah.
Aww. She didn't say anything.
She was in for like 20 seconds. What the?
Probably
because we were ignoring her.
Issues.
We're bad.
I was just waiting for her to interrupt. That's all. I mean, especially because she was the other one in the chat shouting, "Hey, Direwolf, check your DMs, man."
And I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name, but hello. Adine Flix? Anodine Fix?
I hate the spaces.
Yeah. Makes it harder to type it out, too.
Anodynafix.
Yo, Chrome, what are you a gerbil, dude?
No, fodder.
What's a fodder?
It's a part ferret, part otter. And yes, my parents were very drunk.
Is that like a real animal?
No.
I can be recognize that.
It's a part of the furry fandom where they mix different animals together.
Yeah, basically, a friend of mine bought the character from someone on Fur Affinity and then never used it. So I ended up getting it instead. And the joke was always, how drunk were my parents?
So there's another fandom out there I found. I just came across it accidentally. Definitely was not, But so it was Anthro. So apparently Anthro is like people that like to dress up like animals, and they don't like furries. Furries are people that like to dress up like animals. I don't know what the difference is.
I don't. It sounds like you just described the same thing twice.
Right. I mean, I don't really know what the difference is, but apparently there are two groups that don't like each other. So there's also a race war going on between furries and anthros. When will the violence stop?
Are you a furry, Wolf?
No, I am not. I have a lot of fans who are furries, and I'm sure I'm breaking their hearts telling them that. But I picked a wolf because of the personality aspects, not because I am a wolf, but or like to cosplay as one. But I do, when people talk to me in the comments and stuff, I play a character of I'll respond to you like I am a wolf. So
Nice.
so that's the running joke with me. But no, I'm not actually a furry.
Yeah.
Sure.
There she is again.
Lotus is a furry though, right? Right, Lotus?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Hey, Lotus.
Hello.
Yay! No, I'm not a furry. Fuck off.
I got so many friends who are furries, but no, I'm not one myself.
At least I know now what a fodder is. Like, I just assumed that you were looking for, or that you were trying to go for the word fodder, like Fodder fodder, but you misspelled it.
Yeah, that's what,
Well, at least
that's what I thought.
now I'm
Well, I missed
straight.
that.
Now I
What's
know
a
what
fodder?
He looks like a gerbil, dude.
No, wrong
What's a
kind of
fodder?
deal.
a sort of 1990s cereal box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll see if I can find the tweet I posted.
Like gerbil crunch or something.
Gerbil crunch.
I don't think we had that here. I don't know.
Because
Anyways.
whereas Wolf calls all his Patreon supporters cubs, I was kind of looking up what to call any that I might get in future, if I get any.
Oh, come on. You have like 40 now.
You're like, are you 40?
No, Patreon supporters, not
Oh,
subscribers.
Oh.
No, don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful to even have more than 10.
Oh,
Yeah.
my name is a helping hand, so I'm not trying to give my supporters or followers any kind of pet name, because anything that starts with hand is not going to be good. I mean, shit, I've already earned the nickname Hand Job from several people. I should have anticipated that, but whatever.
Yeah. I see every one of your videos. I laugh to myself. Yep, there goes another hand job.
Fucking the white YouTuber, man, it's his fault. He did it first.
Just like wolves, only dire.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
What's your channel name, Chrome Fodder? Is it that?
That's really great.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
It's got a...
I'll link it to you. It's also in the collab we did. See, I actually linked him, but not you.
Yeah, you motherfucker. What's up with that? I was like the only one. I thought it was intentional. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Di. I couldn't do the collab with you.
That's all right. Did you get your
mixed up big time.
Oh, well, there's bound to be another collab, so yeah, don't worry,
Yeah.
Lotus. You'll be involved at one
Yeah,
point
there
or
it
another,
is.
I'm sure. Although I'm glad
There you go.
I'm
I'm
glad
gonna
that I
link this in the
put
side
your
chat.
image, Gemini, in my my thumbnail for that video. Like, 'cause I was trying to put everybody in there that I could, but I'm using a shitty like online video photo editing software and just isolating the character as a transparency so I can fit everybody in it wasn't enough of them. The only ones that I put in there were the ones that I could easily enough extract from the original image.
Oh, because I had a white background.
Yeah. That was easy enough. But so yeah, I'm glad I put you there, man. I'm not trying to be salty on my channel too.
It's all good, man. What do you use for software?
It's just some online-based thing called Pixlr. It's pretty easy. I mean, I really only use it because it's a layers feature, and the fact that it can generate PNG images and transparencies relatively easily is the only real reason I use it. But once I start upgrading everything and graphically speaking, as soon as I manage to put together the PC that I've been saving up for, then I'm going to start, spending some money on some better software to do all this with. But yeah, it's good enough. But when it comes to trying to isolate a particular part of an image to take it out and then create a transparency, the software is retarded. It doesn't even know what it's looking for. So you have to actually go in there and do it pixel by pixel.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yo, Chrome Fodder, you gotta tag your channel, man. Can you you didn't tag your channel?
I'm not subbed, so I want to sub to you.
I found it because you linked it to the Twitter, but
you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm not entirely sure if I did sub yet. I have to go check.
Yeah, his contact's really good. You guys might want to do collabs with him later on, help him grow.
I'll check him out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm sure, Gemini, if you do a collab with him, he'll actually link your channel.
Okay, I'm going there now.
I tend to link channels even if I only use a clip of their video. So
it's a good form.
Like the one I did recently just has Magog going, "That is a man." It's like I've just got to leave the link in. It's just the right thing to do.
And no, I was not subscribed, but I am now. That is rectified.
Yeah, I've just subbed.
Thank you very much. Actually, I don't think
Did you guys hear that killed people on Facebook Live?
Yeah, I did actually.
Yeah, wow, that's
I heard that.
fucking messed up.
Yeah, I posted that in a DM.
Wait, what's going on now?
The guy, was it California? What was that? What state was it?
Fuck. I should know.
With me.
I forget.
I'll pull it up real quick. But yeah, someone.
I've lost my Twitter.
Yeah, someone did another Facebook Live murdering. He shot someone to death on Facebook Live. I heard.
For fuck's sake, man!
People are just sick, man.
Well, a lot of people when they want to go out, they're depressed or they're angry and they know they're going to die. They want people to see it.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want the attention.
Was it over his girlfriend splitting up with him or something, or what? That's right.
I mean, after that shitstorm about those, whether they were or were not Black Lives Matter supporters or whatever, but them, kidnapping that mentally disabled guy and torturing him. I mean, after the shitstorm that ensued in for Facebook, you think they'd be trying to keep a lot closer tabs on things like this, but
yeah.
There
was
it's in the Cleveland area. Suspect named Steve Stevens killed one man on Facebook Live, admitted to multiple shootings in greater Cleveland area.
Wow.
So he's not captured yet though. He's still on the loose, isn't he?
Yeah, still a manhunt.
What? He's fucking Facebook Live in it.
They have his face, but they don't know where he's at.
Can't they triangulate his fucking phone?
They always do it on television. I don't know about that though.
Dude, I've done cell phone and cell phone service tech support, so I know exactly how easy that is. Yeah, if they wanted to find him, they could fucking find him. So
I can see someone's ass crack with a fucking Google satellite. You know what I mean? Can't find this fucking guy.
It is ridiculously easy. If they wanted to find him, they totally could. So what they're waiting for, I have no fucking idea.
With any luck, he's already shot himself.
Yeah, hopefully. Killings like this happen all the time. Definitely in places like Chicago or Detroit. But it's just the new phenomenon is that people are broadcasting it to as much of the world as possible, and that's insane.
Right. Well, I mean, exhibitionist murders and exhibitionist suicides are really nothing new. The fact that it took this long to bleed through social media and start happening like this, honestly, I'm surprised that we weren't seeing things like this sooner.
Are you further from your mic than you were before? Because you're starting to trail off.
Me?
Yeah, you're getting quieter.
It's like literally hanging around my neck. I have no idea what could be.
I don't know.
Why will technology not stop fucking up around me?
Samuel Adams tried to say that, or said that the CNN tried to compare the shootings to video games. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Not again.
Really? Are we going back to that now? Like,
everything is the fault of Grand Theft Auto.
My God, I should be going around shooting people and running people over because I love Grand Theft Auto.
Damn, I need to jack me a car and go run some bitches over.
Yeah, and then there's still a jet
Sounds
from the
like
Air
an
Force
idea.
and crash that too.
Yeah.
I can't be the only
I'll
person
get shot
who's
like 300 times. Not actually die from it.
be the only person who's been waiting for Jack Thompson to make a comeback and try to start another campaign against video games, because the first one was hilarious. It can only be funnier this time.
So tell me about Jack Thompson. Is he not a religious guy that was opposed to video games?
Honestly, I don't really think it was rooted in religion. At least I don't really remember him ever mentioning religion. I think it was really more just a moral thing for him. But no, he was a lawyer out of Florida, I believe, and basically he just harassed Rockstar Games until he got himself disbarred.
Weird.
Maybe he just sucked at the game and didn't want anyone else to play it.
Right. Yeah.
That must be the case, yeah. Video games aren't making people go out and kill people. People have been killing people since the age of, since the beginning of time. And if you take away their weapons, they'll use something else. If you take away their gun, they'll grab a knife. If you take away the knife, they'll use their fist. People inherently have tendencies, and there's people who are just inherently more evil than others. So,
right. Which is why when the whole, video games cause sexism movement started, it was so fucking funny. Like, wow, it's literally Jack Thompson 2.0.
Oh, they just won't fucking stop. Leave my video games alone.
Right. I don't know how they think this is going to end well for them. It's only ever going to end in them being made fun of. That's it.
Yep.
Wow, the perfect video for me just popped up on Twitter.
What video is
how
that?
to make a pro YouTube channel for dummies.
Have you guys seen Bearing's videos? He's done some things showing how he does his editing and his audio and stuff.
Yeah, I saw those.
Yeah, that's why my audio doesn't suck.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch them, because if I want to start videos, which I can't at the moment, I want to do that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a departure from his normal content, but I really liked it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I might have been responsible for that. I mean, the first time that he did it was only maybe about a week or two after he originally contacted me personally, because apparently my audio was atrocious in my first few videos. And he basically told me, yeah, this is how you fix it. So yeah, there's still measures that I could probably be taking to making it better. But yeah, I definitely owe him for his help. So
yeah, the thought occurred to me that the thought occurred to me that content he did kind of goes along with the people trying to do some more family friendly stuff, trying to get some videos to actually be monetized by YouTube.
Yeah, well, considering they're on the whole crusade now against anything that they consider not family friendly. Yeah.
And I'm not putting that motive on Bearing, of course. I thought it kind of corresponds with what is allowing that. And I'm really happy and lucky that I have patrons like Fodder here, as well as I actually have a full-time job that I don't need the ad revenue. I'm really glad I don't, but I feel really bad for the people who like Bearing. This is his job now.
Right.
Yeah, but he quit his job because he made enough money.
That's what I'm saying.
He already had a job. Yeah.
Because YouTube is now his job, and his kind of content is being demonetized a lot by YouTube. So I feel bad for people who are in Bearing's position where this is their only income.
Yeah, hopefully Patreon can make up for the deficit.
He does make.
It's been quite some time since I've spoken to him. I haven't heard from him in quite a while. So yeah, I am kind of wondering as to how this is affecting him.
I think it is a good distinction to make. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think it's a good distinction to make though when speaking about this is that it's not YouTube, it's the advertisers.
Oh yeah, you're right.
YouTube would rather make money on us as well.
Yeah, but you don't really make too much money from monetizing.
Hey, I get like fucking 20 cents a month, okay?
It's all through Patreon and things.
Well, my wife has so you guys all know Alphabet. You've now heard her voice on the last video. So she has a YouTube channel that's very large, and she pulls in about $1,500 a month from ad revenue.
Damn.
Okay.
On top of that, she gets companies that give her thousands of dollars worth of products that she either sells or just keeps. So you could be like a what do you call them, PewDiePie, and make a living off this, but it's becoming increasingly impossible to do so with our kind of content. Our kind of content requires supporters to support us now, because if some people they have very low budgets and they don't need a lot of money, they're just doing it for fun. But some people, when they're trying to improve their quality, it's not going to be able to pay for it just with ad revenue.
Right. I mean, I keep hearing the word algorithm thrown around, and I literally know absolutely nothing about that. I've been trying to look into different ways of branching out and trying to increase quality and getting my name out there as much as possible. But really, if I'm at all honest, I really have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. So I really do need to start buckling down and doing research on that, and figuring out how to.
It's always changing, but it rewards daily videos nowadays.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
That could change though.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been hearing also that it tends to change at the drop of a hat. So.
Right.
Yeah. My goal for any proceeds I'm getting, because like I said, I'm not doing this for business, right? Any money I get, I want to put into products that I can then send to my patrons for near cost. So sell near cost and give my patrons for free, because they're very generous in giving me money for my videos. So I want to give them something back. And the benefit to me for giving them something for free is that I'm increasing my branding, right? More people are seeing me, and that's the benefit to me. I don't need the monetary benefit. I just want to grow the channel.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, that's kind of what threw me off. When I started my channel, I reached out to Bering because I wanted some advice from him, seeing as how he's been doing this so long, as to what I could be doing better or whatever. And then when he put that plug in, so many subscribers came in so damn fast, and then the momentum pretty much just fell off right away. I've been sitting around like 11,800 and something for the past month or so. And also, like I said before, I keep hearing something about this subscriber glitch, wherein like anytime you post a new video, you will just randomly lose a few subscribers, and they'll have no idea that they were automatically unsubscribed. And I have no idea if that's still going on or not, but there still seems to be like the symptoms of it around. So
I know there's one where it's if someone hits unsubscribe by accident, there's no "Are you sure?" So if they hit it by accident, then but they're gonna implement one. At least that's what they said on Twitter.
Yeah, well, whatever the hell's going on, I definitely hope they fix it, because
I lose a few a day, dude. I lose a few subscribers a day, and I'm like, how? Like what? It can't be right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really, with the number that I'm at, it's not really a huge deal at the moment. But I have to imagine, anybody who's in like the hundreds, or even the anything under like 3,000 or 4,000, it's got to be a huge pain in the ass to them. Some website glitch that's losing them subscribers illegitimately when they're trying to grow their channel as hard as they can. It's got to be a pain in the fucking ass. I mean,
it's like pissing in the wind,
Exactly. And if it's pissing me off this much, I know it's got to be pissing off everybody else who's trying to do the same thing I'm doing.
What pisses me off is that I got I think 9 dislikes on the pedophile video. I'm like, really quickly, God, is there really that many supporters?
Yeah, who the fuck is disliking that video?
I'm sure they're like, because it's a secret type thing where you can rename anonymous. Yeah, there'd be heaps and heaps on YouTube.
My second video ever was basically on Heart Progress, and the moment that went up, it got 3 dislikes within about 5 minutes.
Oh my god.
It's like, I'm a nobody, and yet they still found that video.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some of the people that have come into the comment section of my mirror of that video that we've done, it gives me pause, because it's like they're trying to add something to the argument that they think we're saying that we're not saying. Like, there are people coming into the comment section saying, well, people shouldn't be policed and imprisoned for thought crime. And I'm having to tell them, like, no, that's not what we're saying. Nobody's saying that we should be imprisoning these people because they have the desire, or they're attracted to children. That would be policing thought crime. What we're saying is that these assholes are trying to legalize it through Congress. It's illegal for them to act on their desires. That's what we're fucking against. And
I don't ever see it being legalized, though. Like, they can try, but it won't be legalized. It can be normalized, but not legalized.
I mean, even if it was legalized, we still, I'm pretty sure there's a measure of innate instinct to this. It can be legal on paper all damn day, but that's not going to stop a jilted parent from wanting to kill the person who did it to their child. You're not going to be any more safe just because it's legal. So I don't really know what the fuck they do with this.
And one problem is, even if the government doesn't legalize something, small communities of people who are like-minded that are in a small area can break the law because they all share a belief that's normalized. They feel like this is okay, and in their group. And if we allow normalization, you'll allow things like, say, what if there was a Muslim mosque that supported following Muhammad's example and having child brides at age 6? Right. And if you have an entire community that was supportive of the idea, so then the police don't do anything. It's still illegal, but because we've normalized the idea, it can happen more easily.
Exactly. That's basically what they don't want to be outcasts for being the deviants that they are. And I'm sorry, but that's just the nature of the beast. If you're going to be a fucking deviant like this, you are going to be an outcast. The majority of society is not going to agree with you thinking that you have the right to fuck children. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen.
This doesn't mean that we want people who that feel this way to be put in jail prior to a crime.
Right.
You have to commit a crime before the government can step in and do something. However, that doesn't mean we can't take steps to protect our children, which we will.
Yeah,
keep them out of harm. And they need to seek help.
Yeah, I wouldn't want my kid, if I don't have kids, but if I did, I wouldn't want them near these people, even if they haven't committed. Like, the fact that they think like that, to me, is just like creepy.
Right.
Yeah.
That they think like a child can consent. I wouldn't want my kids around that person.
If you saw the bits that the white YouTuber Whitey, fucking white male, said about what's his face from Salon, what's his name again?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm blanking on his name right now, but he was the one-armed supporter of pedophilia that they did a video on, documentary, and he was saying that he was able to hang out with a female small child, like 4-year-old, 6-year-old family member, and how his sexual view of that family member, he's just describing it in his writings. I'm like, I can't believe the parents of that child, knowing you and knowing that you were so open about your pedophilia, would let that kid be around you alone.
Right.
And then you would write down your experiences like it was somehow some sort of sweet, love story, and then project it to the world. How twisted is that mind view?
Yeah, that's creepy.
Right.
That's just messed up. It's weird that some parents would do it though. Look at all the people that's been caught where their mother lets the boyfriend have a go at the child.
Yeah, there's a news story that
disgusting.
it was 2 years ago. It horrified me. No, sorry, 3 years ago. Horrified me. It was a murder case. The young mother with a boyfriend let the boyfriend come into the house. She left knowing full well what he was there to do. He actually ended up killing the child through penetration from through the throat and I'm not sure which hole he used, but basically she bled out from the damage done. So when freaking Gemini here, the guy who I didn't link in the channel in the video description, was talking about physical harm to a child. This was a 2-year-old that would literally bled out from the damage done. And this is
God.
I'm not going to go into more detail, but there was a lot of detail in the news report. It's disgusting.
It's amazing they think that it doesn't do any physical harm, but it fucking does. Like, it's a child and everything's small, you know. It's fucking sick bastards.
Well, this is why when this bloody heart progress thing first came up, one of the first comments I posted was, "Why don't you go cut your dick off?"
And also, just the mere fact that 5.7 out of 6 of every child that was pulled and went through the testing to see the effects of them having intercourse as a child. And this is a broad category. It's including everyone that's below legal age. So that just to, you'd think that the effects would be lesser for someone who's 17 years old or 16 years old. But this is including everyone. 5.7 out of 6 had one of the psychological issues that of having abuse as a child.
Yep.
Damn.
That's near 100%.
Yeah.
It's so freaking close to 100%.
They don't care about the psychological issues that happen. They only care about the physical. And when that happens, usually it's people who are sociopathic by nature.
Yeah.
They don't understand the psychological aspects of anything.
The harm you're causing someone else, they don't care. It's about them and their gratification, not what harm their actions cause. And
That's
then all the words that they spill out, all the lies and misinformation are just a justification for trying to get what they want. It's not actually trying to fight for the rights of a child.
That's exactly right. And, that's why I tried to stress as much as I could in my part of that video that the psychological damage that it does, more specifically the damage that it does to the foundation of their psyche, is the worst part of all of it. The physical wounds will eventually heal. But when you do that kind of damage to a child that young, who doesn't have the ability to really analyze what happened to them or to really rationalize it or understand it, that kind of trauma is infinitely more damaging. And when you're building the rest of your psyche on top of that foundation of trauma, you're going to end up either as an abuser yourself, or as a drug addict, or some other type of criminal. It's something that will affect you for the rest of your fucking life. That's what they need to be looking at, but they don't give a shit. Anything they can do to get their rocks off.
There is a
Alcohol
great
dependency for me.
Yeah, there's some great articles that outline the effects, the stages of development, and also just stuff on this topic. Everyone who's in any way confused about the harm caused to children should read those things that were linked in the description of my video. I went through a lot of work trying to find appropriate articles, and they're important information. Also, I linked something we didn't talk about in the video, was a giant 7,000 people pedophile ring that was busted, 300 arrests. It was worldwide.
Yeah.
That's these people. They have them mapped around where they are in the country, and they're all over the place. They're in our communities. So it's a very real thing that we need to be aware of, and not to at any time seek to justify it, because these people who might be struggling with a mental issue don't need a motive or more encouragement to offend. They need encouragement to get help.
Honestly, I think that's the biggest problem with our country these days, is the fact that we're starting to lose perspective on our place within the context of the world. There has never been a point in history when the problems of human trafficking and sex slavery haven't been a problem. But, we look at the democracy that we have in America, and how these problems are more or less not nearly as big as a problem as they are in certain other parts of the world. And we take it for granted. We don't realize exactly how fragile it is. That people are only, that democracy like this can only survive if people are complacent to be governed in such a way that is fair for everybody. But as soon as everybody, starts getting a special snowflake hair up their ass about, no, but what about me and my feelings, and stops looking at it in terms of the context of society and what's good for the whole, and it all becomes about me. Shit starts eventually falling apart, and we start seeing shit, like what just happened in Berkeley, and this rise of trying to legalize pedophilia. It's if there's anything that I've learned over the past year, and especially since I started my YouTube channel, it's that democracy and all of these Western values that we take for granted every day, they're fragile. They can fall apart very easily, which is why we need to stop shit like this when we see it start.
And we're full circle. I'm glad we finally brought it back to Berkeley. Started off with Berkeley, went off to racism and slavery. Somehow we ended up in pedophilia, and now we're back to Berkeley. So I actually need to bring this stream to an end. Oh yeah, mention about YouTube a little bit. So thank you guys all for being involved in the live stream. I think we had a great discussion, but I do actually have work today, so I need to go. So you guys have a great day. Thank you very much.
Yep. See you, everyone.
Thanks for having us.
Yep, take it easy.
Have a good one.